There are shows with psychics.
And there are shows with doctors.
But there's no show like The Psychic and the Doc.
Your practical paranormal power unleashed.
This show synthesizes the talents of world-class medium Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, psychic explorer,
and street smart spiritualist, behavioral psychologist, Dr. Pat Baccili. All subjects are on the table and no topic is taboo. Inspiration, insight,
action, and fun as Mark Anthony connects callers with loved ones in spirit.
In tandem with Dr. Pat's fresh, no-nonsense, street smart, intuitive insights. And she is hilarious.
Extraordinary problems
require extraordinary solutions, which may come from this side
or the other side. This is The Psychic
and the Doc, and it starts now. Everybody, we have a really great show tonight. I'm here with my amazing, world-renowned, esteemed colleague and friend, my co-host, Dr. Pat Baccili. And this is The Psychic and the Doc. I'm Mark Anthony, the Psychic. Tonight's theme is To the Moon and Back, because 53 years ago today, the greatest achievement in human history occurred when humans landed on the moon. And Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin were in the lunar lander, the Eagle, and Michael Collins remained aboard the command module on Apollo 11, which was orbiting the moon. And when Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon, he said, "One small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." And boy, was it. And it's really exciting that, well, first off, it shouldn't have taken us half a century to get ready to go back. And I got a lot to say about that, but I'll spare everybody.
God.
But
poking the bear now. Poking the bear.
But Apollo, okay, was the Greek god of the sun, and his twin sister Artemis was the goddess of the moon. And the next moon mission by NASA is the Artemis mission, which will be bringing the first woman to step on the moon. So it may have taken us a half century, but hey, we're going back. And Dr. Pat, when we were talking about the theme for today's show, it's not just about going to the moon. It's also to the moon and back.
To the moon.
That's a really familiar phrase, familiar metaphor that means a lot of things, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Now, let me just say two things. First of all, I want to talk about psychic ability in a moment, and I am going to tie it in. And Jessica's going to play a great clip when we go to break, but I am going to tie this in. Congratulations on the many awards, but your most recent award.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations on the OMI, not just the book, but you personally. Congratulations on that. As my friend RuPaul would say, congratulations, but that's a whole nother show. Now, wait a minute, let me tie it in. Jessica, you better get this song. You have to get this song. Who else was psychic in 1969 in July? Okay, I'm going to tell you. David Bowie, I mean, this is tied into your moon thing.
Right.
But David Bowie on July 11th, music phenomenon and icon, released his single, Ground Control to Major Tom. Space Oddity.
Yes.
So, I'm sorry, scared the dog. I'm sorry, Sadie. Can you, I mean, he had to be like, I mean, come on now. In the same month, you had Bowie and you had Apollo 11. And 11 is my number, by the way.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's been quite an honor. And I want to thank you, Dr. Pat, Transformation Network. And I want to thank all of our listeners, so many people, for your love and support. It was an honor. I was nominated for 2 of the OMI awards, and I took both of them home. And it is very humbling to see how my work is touching people around the world. And you know, my work is, a large part of it is this show. And Dr. Pat and I it is such an honor for us to be of service to everyone, because there's no other place that you can come and get the psychic and the doc. And Dr. Pat is a master, or should I say a mistress, of interpreting so many of the metaphorical messages that are transmitted from spirits. And I think that probably stems not just from your life experience, but also your work and training as a behavioral psychologist, is understanding these archetypes, these messages, because so many times I'll deliver a message and the person isn't sure, and you say, like last week, we're talking about a message of a lion came through, and it had to do with Leo, but then you said to the person,
right click it, see if there are any choices. If you aren't on it, it's gone. Right click it, right click it, right click it. Okay, where's the volume on this thing?
It's okay. I don't know who that is, but I'm getting scared now.
Normally I'm hearing voices, but not like that.
I'm like, whoa, is that ground control to Major Tom?
That could be mission control.
Oh my God. Okay, so one last thing, because I want to tell everybody it's a live call-in show. And I want to say 1-800-930-2819, because it's very important what Mark said, to the moon and back. And we're going to talk about this throughout the show. I mean, we show up here like we were born with silver spoons. I don't even know what that means, but I'm telling you, there was no, I don't even think I had a spoon. But when we talk about to the moon and back, what we're talking about is a level of accomplishment and achievement and pride that we all have to remind ourselves we're capable of. And we're going to talk more about that. You know, the other thing, I've talked about this before, but I think July of this year was July and I have to tell you, people say to me, what year do you remember out of your life? And I say, okay, I'm going to tell you, I have to tell you, 1969, because it wasn't just this. It was Woodstock. It was Stonewall. It was Apollo 11. It was David Bowie. I mean, it was Kennedy and Chappaquiddick. I mean, I don't even know, but it was such a powerful year. And I don't know the astrology of it. However, July 20th of this year, a lot of energies happening. We're going to take your calls, everybody. 1-800-930-2819. Let's take a little short break. And when we come back, we're hitting the phones. We're going to go right there and we're going to have some fun. And we want to know, when we talk to you, ground control to Major Kim, ground control to Major Amber. You're coming up next. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Liftoff.
Welcome back, everyone. Where were you? Okay, don't even tell us if you weren't even born yet, but where were you? July of 1969, if you want to. But we have a great show. We're going to take you to the moon and back. Thanks to the most incredible Mark Anthony. It is really an honor and a privilege to take this journey with you, Mark. I mean, you know, people that know me still don't believe that anybody would want to co-host with me. So that's just another show. But to the people that know me, you know, and they see the way we are together, it really talks to our respect and appreciation for each other, but being so on target with our primary purpose. And now we're going to kick it over to the most amazing Jessica, and go for it, Jessica.
All right, we'll see if I can push all the right buttons. We have Kim calling in from South Dakota. Kim, you are live on the Psychic and the Doc. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kim. How can we help you tonight?
Can you hear me?
You're loud and clear. 10-4, good buddy.
Good, because I can't hear you guys very good. I'm afraid to put it on speaker because it's like, no, I got the phone right up to my ear.
Yeah. So it's got to be on your end.
I did everything.
Okay, I'm going to speak.
Let me put it
I'm going to do. Wait, I'm going to do this for you. Can you hear me now?
Well, let me put it. Well, it's a little better, but let me put it on speaker. But I don't know if you guys will be able to hear me. Let me just check. Hold on.
Let's try anything. Anything. I'll try anything.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Now, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Right, how can we help you tonight? I want to just get you right over to Mark, okay?
Okay.
Hi, Kim. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. Yeah.
I
You
was
see,
just
for
wondering.
all the callers, make sure that your connection is clear. Try not to use speakerphones or earbuds. Try to use
Yeah.
your handset, because sound quality is key to me getting a connection between you and the other side. So if there's muffled or distorted sound quality, that will create a block. I'll do my best,
Yes.
but it is really preferable if you have clear, consistent sound
Yeah.
quality. Also, that means when you're talking to us, make sure speakers in the background are off, because
Yes.
it'll cause feedback, and that frequency feedback will sever the connection with the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, Kim, how can I help you?
Yes, I was wondering if any family members of mine or if you see any of them.
Well, I
Can
can
I
barely
say who?
understand you, so I'll do my best.
I can
Okay.
translate. She
Okay.
would like to
Right,
know.
but I need to hear her. That's
I
the
gotcha.
problem. That's
All
the
right.
problem.
All right, Jessica, you
Okay.
can work on
I
that.
was
Yeah, maybe we should go to
okay.
another caller and see if Kim
Well,
can get her
I took
sound
it off.
squared away.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jessica,
Well, I
let's
just
go
took
to
it off
another caller.
speaker.
Okay, she took it off speaker. Go ahead, Kim. Come on. This is like Houston and
Yeah,
ground control.
Yeah, I was just wondering if anybody was
Any relatives are coming through. I got it. Okay, now I can hear you.
Yeah,
Super.
yeah.
All right, Kim, I'm getting a
Okay.
female energy. All right, I'm getting a female spirit coming through, connected to you. Feels like on your mother's side of the family. Now, it could be a mom, could be an
Okay.
aunt, could be a grandmother. Hold on, and do your best not to interrupt. Wait till I say, does that make sense?
Okay.
Reason being is that can cause
Yep.
me to lose the connection. So I have this woman coming through, and I feel prior to her passing, I'm getting this burning sensation in her lower abdominal region, GI tract, lower part of her stomach. And a burning sensation could indicate, usually that's a cancerous condition. It doesn't always mean cancer. It could be some other issue, but I'm getting what would be in her reproductive areas, lower intestines, and in her, well, her whole GI tract. And what I'm getting also is that this was not a surprise event. In other words, she was ill for quite some time, and she knew that death was imminent. She knew that it was coming, and she did her very best to say goodbyes to everyone, and she is focusing on you. Does any of this make sense to you?
Kind of.
In what way,
Yes.
kind of?
Well, okay. I don't know. We didn't know. First, she had breast cancer, and they said she was cancer free, and then it came back in her brain. But I know she also had some problems in her like you said, your digestive area.
All right. When you said she, does that mean your mom?
My mother, yes.
Okay. All right. So Kim, we got your mother coming through, and first off, please accept our condolences, our deepest sympathy on the passing of your mom. She also wants you to know that when spirits come through and they give me these pains and sensations, that does not mean that they're experiencing that now. These are identifiers, because spirits know that we are very focused on how they died. And so they generally give me first their gender, then the relationship to you, and then they will give me characteristics related to their passing. Okay, so she's coming through and she's talking about brother. Now, this could be her brother in spirit, unless you have a brother in spirit, but she's talking about brother. Does this make any sense to you?
Yes, my older brother passed a year ago, January.
Okay, so then that indicates both your mother and your brother have come through. And interesting. Your brother's cracking me up. He goes, "That's what you get with Cracker Jacks." And I remember that was a commercial a gazillion years ago, and Cracker Jacks are still around. And when I get Cracker Jacks, that can mean a couple different things. Maybe you guys like eating Cracker Jacks, or maybe somebody who's a baseball fan, because buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Okay, that's from the baseball song, but this could also be a male name that starts with the letter J, like a John, Jim, Jack, Jeff, connected to you or him. So anything with a letter J or or baseball or anything like that makes sense, not just to your brother, but to you in any shape, form, or fashion?
Well, my mother's name was Jacqueline.
That would be it. Okay, so your brother's there with Jacqueline. All right, let's see what they want you to know. Okay.
Okay.
Understandably, you're depressed, and they get that. But your brother and your mother keep saying, "Put on a happy face." Now, when they're singing that song, or rather projecting that particular auditory connection to me, what they're telling you, they're not telling you snap out of your grief, because they know that grief is a lifelong process. But what they're telling you is that when you're out and about, you need to put on that happy face. They're telling you it's very important for you not to always let people around you. When I say people around you, I don't mean close friends or family members, but people external to that. They said, stop giving away what you're feeling. Don't let people know you're vulnerable. Put on that your brave face, put on your happy face in public. But when you're at home in your safe space, it's okay to grieve. And they don't want you to feel bad about grieving. They also don't want you to put unrealistic expectations on yourself to, quote unquote, snap out of your grief. I'm going to turn you over to Dr. Pat. Dr. Pat, what's your take on that?
Yeah, let me ask you a couple of questions. First of all, I think it's exactly like Mark said. Our heart goes out to you.
Thanks.
I know that there's something you want to connect with your mom about. I'm not sure what that is, but there's something that feels unfinished. Does that make sense? Is there something unfinished?
Well, I don't know. I'm just having some problems. And I just was hoping she could maybe tell me what I should do.
I got it.
She always
That's what I
tried to help me.
Yeah, I'm going to try to help you with this. Look, may I? Do you have a minute? May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay. I don't want you to share everything on air because privacy is really important to us on this show. But the problem that you're having on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being it's really bad, where does it feel for you?
Well, I don't know. Probably maybe a 7.
Okay. So it's a 7. So what that says to me is you have room that you can turn this around. The advice that your mom is going to give you around this, and Mark, right? The mom will give her the advice.
Yeah.
Are you ready to receive it, Kim? Are you ready to receive the advice from your mom? It may not be right now, but I want to help you with this. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So your mom has helped you with things before, correct? I know this is true. I don't even know why I'm asking.
Right.
She's been a guidepost for you, like a lighthouse. A lighthouse. You know what I mean by a lighthouse?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think you
she always
can't
tried to help.
Yeah. Why do you think?
What's that?
But more like a guiding light. Why do you think you can't figure this out for yourself?
Why do I not?
Why,
I don't know. There's
why
just
is this
different
hard?
obstacles.
I'm sorry. Say it
because
again.
there's different. Yeah, there's just different obstacles, and
okay,
I
got the
know.
answer. Okay, I don't know your mom, but I'm going to tell you. I don't even know if she's telling me to tell her this. Okay, if you have a tendency to lump everything in one basket, so that you have a basket of challenges, right? I don't believe in problems. I believe in challenges. I love a good challenge, by the way. So what I want you to do is I want you to write your top 3 challenges on a piece of paper and then prioritize which one you want to do first, because you're not going to be able to do them all. Right? You see what I'm saying? You know, it's like I'm watching Linda try to cook the corn. Like we got this Jersey corn and the pot is so big and it's like 15 ears of corn trying to get in a pot. That's not going to happen. You know, the corn, it's not going to happen. Something's going to go wrong with that. So you put 3 at a time or 4 at a time. So can you tease this apart? Now, if you tease it apart, how does that feel? Like
I don't know.
One thing.
What do you
Guess what?
mean? I have to
Pick
answer.
one challenge.
I have to answer.
No.
One
But how does it
challenge.
feel? Yeah, just tell me how it feels if you just pick one of the many you may have.
Well, that would help.
Bingo. So what are you
Is
going to do? You're not
that
going
what-
to do anything tonight because you're going to get some answers and solutions. But I need you to take out a piece of paper after you hang up with us, and I want you to write them down. Do not
Okay.
write more than 5 challenges down at a time on a piece of paper, and then I want you to prioritize them. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to get some insight on what to do with your top priority, okay?
Okay.
Then go to the second one and third one because
Yeah.
your mom didn't show up here for nothing, right, Mark?
That's right. And a lot of times
Right.
when people go into spirit communication with, I want to know this, spirits are not here to control us or tell us what to do. They can guide us. And so by you reaching out,
Right.
me making the connection, and then Dr. Pat giving you the common sense solution to write this out, this is your mother guiding you to find the solution, because the life lessons that are presented to us, no one else can learn those or solve those but us. So try that approach, and then touch back with us in about a month or so.
Yeah. Please do that, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
I
Thank
will
you so
if I
much.
can get
Yeah.
through.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I got to
Yeah,
tell you
thank
something
you.
right real quick. You already feel lighter. Right, Mark? I mean, you
Oh,
already feel
yeah.
lighter. Okay. Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kim, for calling in.
Yeah. Jessica, who do we have next?
Next, let's go to Amber from Canada. Amber, you are live on the Psychic and the Doc. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Amber. How can we
Thank
help you
you.
tonight?
Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
I want to say thank you to you guys. I have called in before, and I think I was a little dumbfounded at the time, so I didn't say much, but it was a game changer. The advice that I got from you, Dr. Pat, and the reading that I got from you, Mark, it's incredible how much that can lift grief.
That's great.
And yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amber. That is exactly why Dr. Pat and I
That's why we
decided
do it.
to put this show together and do this. So how can we help you tonight, Amber?
Well, it's been a few months. I do have a particular loved one in mind that has passed. I've had some interesting dreams. I actually had some visits from him before he passed away, sort of premonitions. And I've had a couple of communications in dreams from him since. And the reason that I had called into you a few months ago was because I think I was just losing my faith. And you really, really renewed that. Like, based on what he said to you last time, I know he's here. I just haven't figured out a great way to, I'd love to hear from him more, whether it's through my dreams. I don't want to be going to psychics my whole life. I did do a light circle with you too, Mark, which was awesome. It was great. You helped a whole bunch of people in that. I think there were 6 of us.
Amber,
so yeah, just looking.
Hold on, Amber. Okay, you've had a number. First off, thank you for coming to the light circle and for calling in before and now. Instead of us, let's hear from him again. Let's take a different approach. You said you've communicated with him in dreams. Tell us about those dreams, because between Dr. Pat and me, I think we're going to be able to help you understand. And then once you start understanding what's conveyed in the dream, it's going to open up the pathway for the next time that he connects with you. Just out of curiosity, because I do have a male energy around you, is there something going on with your refrigerator? Like, either got a new refrigerator, you're having a problem with the refrigerator, or has one or more of the dreams taken place in the kitchen? I know that sounds weird, but he keeps showing me a refrigerator.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I hope there's nothing wrong with my refrigerator. I'm traveling right now, so I better do some status checks. There was a problem, though. Yeah, about a month ago, I did. I thought that the refrigerator had broken, but it was just the outlet needed to be replaced. So I ran an extension cord, and I think that's all fixed now. But
okay, that means
it
he's
wasn't
around
a dream, but
and
he's right.
aware. Okay, he's around and he's aware. I know it's like you know, it's as big a surprise for me as it is anybody else. I'm talking to you, and we all want the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe. And he comes in and goes, refrigerator, and I've been doing this long enough to where I know that makes sense. Plus, you got to check the air in your tires. He's showing whatever vehicle you're in. I'm getting a soft tire. Not good. Not good. Not good. What's going on with your tires?
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny. I was just, honestly, this morning, I was thinking, oh, geez, I haven't checked the tires for a while.
Now,
So,
who do you think transmitted that thought to you?
oh, wow. That's crazy.
Now,
That's
hold
crazy.
on. Remember how you said, well, I want to figure out how they connect with me and vice versa. Well, see, he's already giving you 2 examples. So what's happening is he is connecting to you. And my book, The Afterlife Frequency, I talk about the raft technique, how to recognize a sign from a spirit, accept the contact is real, feel it, don't overthink it, and then trust the message. And so he's giving you 2 examples how he's coming through, and he's going to give more. So tell us about one of the dreams.
Okay. Well, I mean, they're quite brief. The ones prior to his death were just horrible and ominous, and sadly, he proved them to be true.
Hold on, Amber. Let's focus with the ones since his passing. And brief is not bad. Spiritual messages can be very concise and powerful. Go ahead.
Okay. Honestly, the first one that I had after his passing was really just, I was actually sitting on a chair across from myself, who was sitting on the sofa. And I was looking at myself, and the me on the sofa got a really weird look on her face, like her eyes changed. And the me on the chair looked at her and said, "Oh my God, is he here?" And then the me on the sofa spoke in my son's voice and said, "Goodbye." Except it wasn't goodbye, it was just goodbye. And then I just woke up with chills all over my body, and I was scared. So, but I knew it was him, you know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was him. Interesting, Dr. Pat. This is a good one because she's in the dream seeing 2 different versions of herself. What do you think that could mean?
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me tell you what the good buff means. Do you know what that means? That's goodbye for now. By the way, that's an abbreviated spirit. Yeah, that's I don't know if I could repeat it the way you said it. But it's sort of, you can hear that it's not goodbye. It's almost a combination of words, because I don't know, Mark, but sometimes, you know, my experience with spirit is a lot of abbreviations, a lot of acronyms, a lot of stuff. But what I love is the mirror reflection, because what you're doing is you're looking at all sides of yourself. Do you understand what I mean by that? You're having a multidimensional perspective of yourself. And so I'm going to ask you a question. What are you looking for?
Sorry, you cut out a little bit. What did you say?
Yeah, what are you looking for when you're looking at yourself? There's something you want. One of you wants something from the other. Self number 1 wants something from self number 2, or vice versa. But there is something one of you wants that it's not getting.
Oh, interesting.
I
don't know. I don't know what that is. I guess now that you've asked the question, though,
I could spend a whole hour on this, though. I know. So what I'm trying to say is, this is what I want you to, the dream will come back to you. If the dream comes back to you, you number 1 and you number 2, one of them will speak up and will ask the other one, what do you want? Okay. You just want to be mindful of that. And you may not even have to dream to get the answer, but please be mindful of that question. Okay.
If I may, Amber, the next issue of Best Holistic Life magazine, I'm a writer for it, and my August article is entitled Navigating the World of Dreams.
Yeah.
And in the article, it presents a meditation, how you can go into the dream, okay, while you're meditating, and then summon the dream and let it take itself to its logical, to its conclusion. So you're an observer of the dream, and then the answer will be revealed to you. And so you can subscribe to Best Holistic Life. Just go to bestholisticlife.com and get an online subscription. It's only like $3, like $2.99 a month.
Yeah.
But the thing is, every month I write articles, and it's fortuitous that the upcoming August article is about interpreting dreams.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be real important for you.
I think it is. And and I will tell you something, it's a technique I used at a very young age. I started to do this when I was 4. I would literally create my dreams before I went to bed. And I had a little difficult childhood. So before I went to bed, I would conjure up all of these characters that I loved in sci-fi, and they became my army. And so Mark is right. You can conjure and create your dream before you go to bed tonight and set it up. But do me a favor,
Okay.
Keep a pen and paper by your bed, because you'll get an answer. You're going to want to pop up. Don't even run to the bathroom. You're going to pop up, just write something down, whatever you hear without judgment.
Yep.
Okay. And
Okay.
then you got to call
Sounds
in
good.
and let us know. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Amber.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
guys.
much.
Blessings.
Thank you.
God bless you,
Many
Amber.
blessings to you. Jessica, let's take a short break, really short. When we come back, Michelle, Eileen, Jeannie, all of you, we'll get right on it. Let's take a short break. Back. Great to have you on the Psychic and the Doc. Look, before we hit the phones, again, Mark, give people an update, what you're up to, what you're doing, how they can follow you. I mean, you're doing so many things, enabling people to participate in circles and different other things. Can you let them know how they find out more about that?
Absolutely. Please visit my website, afterlifefrequency.com, and sign up for my newsletter. You can apply for a reading. You can find out about my books. Also, you can find out about subscribing to Best Holistic Life magazine. I've got an online event coming up on Saturday. I believe it's August 12th. It's called the NDE Zone, Connected by the Light from the Cosmic to the Subatomic. And it's being presented by IANS, the International Association for Near-Death Studies, and you can find out about getting tickets for that. And they're not very expensive. It's like $10 for general public, and if you're a member of IANS, it's only $5. And it's quite an honor to be asked by IANS to do this, and I'm very, very humbled that they have asked me to give this particular presentation. So you can find out about all that at afterlifefrequency.com. And you know what, Dr. Pat? I think we got some callers on the line.
We do. I love it. Jessica, who do we have next?
Absolutely. We have Michelle calling in from North Carolina. Michelle, you are live on the Psychic and the Doc. Welcome to the show.
Hi,
Michelle.
thank you for having me. How are you?
Are you good? How can we help you, though? It's all about you tonight.
Well, a few questions on my mind. One is, are me and my daughter where we need to be as far as living locations?
Michelle, let's back up a bit. First off, I'm a medium, so I can connect you with loved ones in spirit. They may want to give you guidance on that. They may not. Because a lot of times people come to me with you got to realize psychic ability is not a visit to Santa Claus where you come with your punch list. Like, I want this and this and this and this. And I'm not being critical. I'm just explaining, because a lot of people, when you go into spirit communication with I want, you're putting angst into the energetic field, and it creates a block. Okay. So let's clear all of that. All right. And let me open up the frequency, and there's a male energy coming through. Now, he is connected to you through your father's side of the family. So it could be a dad, it could be an uncle, it could be a grandfather. And this gentleman, he kind of had sort of a medium build. He wasn't like real thin. He wasn't like real big and burly, but he had a medium build. And I'm getting like a swelling in his stomach prior to passing. He just, he may have had a bit of a belly on him, but there could have been something else going on there. I do feel difficulty in my bronchial tubes, chest, lungs, and I'm getting this. So he was having a lot of difficulty with his ability to breathe prior to passing. And I'm getting this horrific pain in my head. And I feel like the room is spinning around and I'm seeing a flash of light. Now, this isn't the, oh, I'm going into the light. This feels like could be a surge of high blood pressure, could be a stroke aneurysm. So I'm getting this pain in his head, but I'm also getting a sense of disconnectedness prior to passing. So something was going on with him mentally, which is affecting his focus and clarity. It doesn't have to be dementia. It could have been a stroke. It could be medication, or it could be dementia. All right. So to recap, we've got difficulty with his head, possible stroke or something else going on with mental clarity, dry burning sensation in bronchial tubes and lungs, and definitely difficulty being able to articulate, to communicate prior to passing. Does any of this resonate with you, Michelle?
Yes. And you said it's now, are you sure it's not my father, or it could be his brother?
Well, I said he's connected to you through your father's side of the family. So it could be a father and uncle, possibly a paternal grandfather. So which one do you think it is?
I'm thinking it was my father.
Okay. Well, that would make sense. You know, you've got questions about what's going on, and your dad was coming through and he said, interesting. He's talking about galoshes. Galoshes, that's a word I haven't heard in a long time. And that would mean, I guess, rain boots. Okay, so has there been any problem? I know a lot of parts of the country is terrible flooding and all that, but he's talking about you checking your galoshes, checking your rain boots. What's going on with water intrusion, flooding? What's going on?
I have no clue on that one.
Yeah, you do.
Huh.
If I say flooding, water problems, it doesn't have to be immediate. What comes to mind to you?
I did have a water problem here at this new house.
There we go.
There it is.
Okay, there you go. There it is. All right. Now, your question was, where should you and your daughter be moving to? Was that your question?
No, we just moved.
Yeah, because when you said new house, that didn't make sense. Where should we be moving to? Okay. Hold on. He says, you've always been climbing the hill, yet you constantly keep falling down it. You always keep climbing the hill, but you always keep falling down it. And he's not being critical here. What he's explaining to you, Michelle, is that you have always set the standard very high for yourself. So high, in fact, that not even you can reach the standards and the that you're setting. So what he is telling me is that you put a lot of pressure on yourself. He said, well, she gets that from me. Okay, so apparently dad was one of these guys that always set the bar pretty high. And he said, you do that. He said, the problem, Michelle, is that you don't realize that just because you don't meet the standards you've set for yourself, that you're still not soaring, S-O-A-R-I-G, soaring, okay? And he said, and you also asked about your daughter. When he focuses on your daughter, I'm tasting watermelon. Now, watermelon, I associate with the month of July, which currently we're in. So this could mean a couple different things. This could mean a significant birth, death, anniversary, or event, which could be connected to you, Michelle, in any way, could connect it to you, your dad, your daughter, or someone close to you within the month of July. Watermelon is high in potassium, so it could mean a potassium issue. And the cool thing about July, it could be a trigger for a female name connected to you, your daughter, somebody of significance with like a name like Julie because of July. Is there anything there?
Yeah, there's quite a few. My birthday, my oldest daughter's birthday, and my anniversary was yesterday.
There you go. There you go. Okay. And is your husband in spirit too?
He passed a year ago.
Okay. interesting. As soon as when you said he passed a year ago, and this may sound corny, but go with me on this. He's coming through and he gave me a song. I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. All right, we all probably heard that song. Now, whether or not he
Right.
worked on the railroad is a possibility, but there could also be something about trains. Like maybe either he did a lot of travel by train or you do, or some significance with trains or a railroad crossing. But because I don't fling out random songs like that, it comes to me. Is there anything there that might make sense with you in any way?
The only thing with a train would be when we used to go camping as a child. That was my happy place, of course, but there was always a railroad, and I knew when we were close to camp because I saw the railroad tracks. The only thing I can think of.
Well, that's a very significant thing because that's a very happy memory, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. So why do you think your dad and your husband are projecting to you a happy memory? That's their way of reaching out and sending that happiness, that love. They want you to be able, it doesn't necessarily mean go camping, but they want you to try to find that place, that memory again. Dr. Pat, what's your take on this? Because I know trains have a lot of symbolic meaning.
I want to get back to what she opened up with, the question about your daughter. Can you take me back to that question for a minute, please?
I have my older daughter is in Cleveland, Ohio, and we just moved to North Carolina not long ago from Pennsylvania. And my aunt passed right after we moved here, and my dad had already passed. They were both living down here. And this was our happy place, again, to come visit every year. So now I'm wondering, was I really supposed to move down here, even though those two are gone?
I'm going to answer this question. Unless you can tell me that you are stuck, like I have been in situations in my life where it didn't matter if I wanted to move or not, I couldn't. Unless you tell me there's absolutely no other choice but for you to be where you are, right? I don't think you're saying that to me, correct?
I am.
Are you stuck?
Yeah.
Okay. And what makes you stuck? Because this is, I think, the issue. It's not so much do you move, do you don't move. I think the issue is I am stuck here. It doesn't feel the way I thought it was going to feel. It was my happy place. It's not my happy place, and I'm trapped now, right? Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I want to say. I want you to free yourself of the burden of being stuck. You're not shackled. If there are ways for you to figure out how to be where you want to be. Do you understand what I'm trying to say without taking up a lot more time on air? There are ways for you to figure out how to be where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is tying you there if you don't want to be there, correct?
Correct.
Right. But you feel stuck, so you can't find a way out. So you feel like you're in prison, in a prison that was supposed to be like a happy paradise. And it's like not paradise. Now it's like prison, right?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. I want you to shift that because you have more freedom than you think. And you're going to get a lot of guidance about what to do about this. But you're not going to be able to receive it if you feel like you have no choice. Now, I don't want you to answer this on air, but I want you to really think about it and let us know. I want you to think about, is the place that you're at now really, really that bad? Or do you just miss your loved ones? You don't have to answer it on air, but can you take that in? Because I feel your pain right now. I mean, I can feel it. I know you're sad, okay? Once you enter in the energy of that, you're going to find an answer that says, you know what? I can be anywhere I want. Source, energy, God, tell me how to get there. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Sounds better already, right there, Mark? Right?
Yeah,
Ooh, that's
absolutely.
good. That's good.
And you know that happy place, it's a memory. And like Dr. Pat's saying, it's also a state of mind. And if where you're at now, you move there because that quote unquote used to be your happy place, doesn't have to used to be your happy place. It can be once again.
Right. But we're not going to force that on you. So what I'm trying to say is whether you're happy or you're not happy, be happy, don't worry. I'm trying to say you will have options as to whether or not you want to stay there, okay? Please be open to what they are and don't say no. Like explore them, right? Like Mark, you say, no. We're no to the no's. Okay. Does that make sense? We want to hear some no to the no's if you could. Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. I like that. No to the Jessica. We have a few more minutes. We have can we see who's next? Maybe.
Sure. We can go right to. We've got about 4 minutes, so let's go to Jeannie in Ohio. Jeannie, you are live on the Psychic in the Doc.
Jeannie, let me get you right over to Mark. Okay.
Hey, Jeannie.
Okay, thank you. Hi.
Hey, Jeannie.
Hi, Mark.
How you doing? All right. I'm going to do something a little bit different because we're short on time. Don't give me the name. What's the connection? Like friend, cousin, spouse? Who do you want to talk to?
Well, my mom or dad in Spirit. Just wondering if they were here.
Right, Jeannie. That's why I'm trying to expedite. Let me get them in here. All right. Was your mom okay? There's a female energy coming through, and I see her wearing like a hospital gown. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean she was in the hospital. What that indicates is she was quite ill prior to passing, and she either spent a lot of time in the hospital or in bed. So she had a long, and long doesn't mean like 6 months. It could have been a couple of weeks. Does that make any sense with your mom's passing?
Yes.
Okay, so I got her here and she's coming through for you. And this is weird. She says, fish on Friday. And I know people of the Catholic faith used to, have to eat fish on Friday, but this could also mean a particular Friday of significance. Like, for example, my mom passed on a Thursday. That's a Thursday I'll never forget. Is there a significance to a particular Friday, or is there something coming up of significance this Friday?
Well, she was Catholic, and it was always, for Easter. My mom and dad,
Got it. Okay. That's what I need to know. Okay, let's see what message she has for you. Okay, hold on. Interesting. She shows you. Oh gosh. She shows you with all these like jars of quarters and nickels and dimes. So there's something about like coins, but I think what they're saying is be very cautious what you're doing with your money right now. And you don't have to, because you don't have to explain anything about your finances here, but they're telling you before you make any big expenditures, they want you to think things through carefully and under the guidance of trained professionals. That would mean like a certified accountant, a certified financial planner. They said that they know this isn't what you were thinking of that they were going to talk about, but this is what you need to hear. They said the finances are your foundation. And I'm going to leave that with you, Dr. Pat. You have anything there?
I think this is really good information for you right now, but you're going to get more. And, we're out of time tonight, and I want you to call back because you're going to get more information. I know what Mark is saying to you. Whatever the situation is, it's hard for you to face it, isn't it? It's hard for you to face
Absolutely. And you guys are spot on. You're spot on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as long as that makes sense to you, take that advice and go with it, because as Dr. Pat and I always say, we don't want you to spill your personal information because, we're talking to millions of people right now. But as long as you understand that, take the message, accept it.
Yeah. I've got one more message to you, and I know I've got to run. It's not as bad as you think. It's not as bad as you think. Can you wrap your mind around that? Just say it. It's not as bad as I'm thinking. It's not as bad as I'm thinking. It's not as bad as I'm thinking. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely,
a challenge.
I do. Absolutely.
Okay, it's not terminal.
Yes.
It's a challenge. Okay, you need to call us back because I want you to really take this and really lean on this. But you got to change. You got to flip your dialogue around because I know you're walking around telling yourself you're a loser about something. Am I right on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, please. Oh my gosh.
That's absolutely.
I got to do
want to
something
call
real
back
quick
next
with you.
time because, oh my gosh.
All right, but you got to hear me real quick. I want to tell you something. You're powerful and you're beautiful. You're powerful and you're beautiful. You do hear me? You're powerful and you're beautiful. I want you to walk around 70 times a day and keep saying that. I am powerful and I'm beautiful. I'm powerful and I'm beautiful. We need to stop the bleeding here with your self-esteem. I'm powerful and I'm beautiful. You got that? Okay. And then you will call back. And when you call back, though, I'm telling you, when you come on, I'm going to hear I'm powerful and I'm beautiful. Okay?
Okay, I will. I promise. Yes.
Wow,
Thank you, everybody.
I know that. Thank you so much. Wow, Mark, what a great show. I know that feeling. I know what it's like to walk around and feel like you're a loser. I did it most of my life. And I know what that feels like. And I know we can help people. Mark, thank you so much. Want to take us out?
Everybody, 53 years ago today, humans set foot on the moon. And what that means is anything your mind can achieve, if you believe, you can accomplish. So set that goal for yourself. Thank you, everybody. Dr. Pat and I will be back next week.
2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. 40 feet down, 2.5. Picking up some dust. 30 feet, 2.5 down. Take shadow. 4 forward. 4 forward. Drift into the right a little. Down a half. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot. Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now. I'm at the foot of the ladder. The limb footbeds are only depressed in the surface about 1 or 2 inches. I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Tony, this is so great you can't believe it. I believe it, Charlie. It's raining, Johnny. Look at it go, would you, Charlie? You got all your steering. It's great. Oh, this is going to be so